You are the same person in 2023 that entered 2024. Nothing has really changed except if you decide to pay attention to these three things. I'm still on this wealth creation series that I've been talking about. So there are three critical things I'm going to be talking to us about tonight that are very, very important to your success in 2024, especially when it comes to wealth creation. So I'm going to be talking about these three things. Number one of them is knowledge. You cannot joke with the place of book. There's something called the law of the lead, where your knowledge about a particular topic stop. That is where your growth about that topic stop. So where your knowledge about wealth creation, finances, people management stop, that is where your wealth creation stop. So that is the number one thing. And how do you bridge the gap of knowledge is through books. Basically, what I've tagged, these three things are in the acronym of BIG. So the big you need to have, create wealth in 2024. The big you need to have in creating wealth in 2024. The books you need to consume. Somebody said you have not mastered a thing until you have read the number of books in your age. That is when you have mastered a thing. Okay, take for instance that there are 40 years and you want to create wealth. Have you read 40 books on wealth creation? So books are very, very important. Of course, this age and time, you can look at podcasts about wealth creation, books about wealth creation, and depending on what your belief systems are, the Bible is very, very rich when it comes to wealth creation. So books are very, very important. Powerful, powerful, powerful. Teaching seminars and all of those things are very, very important. And we have audio books this age and time. It is very, very important because what that does is that it helps to condition your mind. It helps you to walk in wisdom. Wise man says something, he said, whatever you cannot deny it, they come into manifestation as wisdom when you need them. Let me break it down a little bit. So now you are reading book about wealth creation, wealth creation, wealth creation, and it does not look like you are creating wealth. There's a time factor. It is not the day you plant a cocoa tree, or it is not the day you plant a cedar. Take for instance, I was doing a little study about cedar. And the cedar tree is very, very small, but it can grow to become a mighty tree, mighty tree, mighty tree. It is not the day you plant it. In fact, I saw a particular tree it was planted 23 years ago. And that tree was like a shrub for the first 10 years. Shrubs for the first 10. In fact, you can mistaken it for wheat. But that same tree, 13 years after the first 10 years, that it looks like a shrub, is now a mighty tree that is, as I was not formed, like a canopy for other trees. So that books are very, very important. So let me, this is where I'm actually going. When you read books, at that very point in time, you do not read them, you do not need them. So they are like seeds that you have planted that are taking time for them to germinate in our mind. They are very, very important. But there are situations that will now show up. For instance, now when you want to create wealth, probably you needed to take a decision on wealth creation. Probably you wanted to invest $1 million, $1 million, $2 million, and at the point in time where you need to do that investment, that is not where you are now looking for book of wealth creation to take the decision. Okay, it is from the abundance that you have consumed that you will now fly out that spirit of wisdom inside of you. Okay, that is the power of book. I hope that makes sense. So you need to consume. In the case you have been consuming books and you feel that you've been wasting your time, in fact, you have not even started. Okay, 2024 book consumption is critical in your wealth creation process. Okay, that is very, very important. And the next one is what I call the individuals, the BIG. So the I is the individuals. Who are the individuals that you know? They are very, very important. You know, Bible talked about the fact that you need to be taken to a rock that is higher than you, because what my mentor, my pastor usually says something, said, your tomorrow are some people's yesterday. Okay, that which you want to attain, that which you call wealth, it is what somebody has achieved 10 years, 15 years, 20 years ago. Okay, imagine having that person as your guide. Okay, or let's for instance, or in your private yacht from New York to Amsterdam, New York to Amsterdam. Okay, and if you have zero experience in that cruising, you have zero experience, but you own the yacht, but you have the capacity to operate the yacht, but you have zero experience, you might not be able to navigate your way from New York to Amsterdam. But imagine you have a captain that has been routing that route for the past, let's say, 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years, or even 30 years, and is the captain of that boat. What you can do is that you can just go rest assured and just relax, or you can even be co-piloting that boat together. Okay, so that is what human beings are. They are very, very important. So what will make you crack your brain, just okay, no, this is how you should do it, this is how you should do it, this is how you should do it. And all of a sudden, light will just show up. So individuals are very, very important. You don't joke with individual, even though what where most people make mistake is because most people created their wealth because there's a lot of abundance of wealth, and very soon we're going to have the first trillionaire. A lot of abundance of wealth, the wealth that is out there right now, we've never seen it before. So some of the people that are supposed to be your mentor are probably millionaires, and what took them 60 years, it took you maybe like 3 years or 4 years to achieve. Okay, it's because of the era that you are in. Okay, right? However, you must not make the mistake of the fact that the foundational principle these people have it. If they are even living in your own era, there's possibilities that they will have made much more money than you are currently making right now. Okay, so you still need to listen to them. Their wisdoms that are very, very important. Okay, I remember that I was watching the movie. I'll reference the movie because of the impact of the movie, Breath of Life. And there was an incident that happened in that movie, and I was having a discussion with one of my colleagues some couple of days ago. And so it was the incident of where the guys were raising money to save the church. However, somebody did not give them money, but he gave them because he has something that is more than money. He has knowledge, he has the connection. That's the book and the individuals. And with those two things, he was able to conquer the money that they needed. I don't know whether some of us understand this. Time will not permit me to go deep and break what these things are for us. Okay. Lastly, the G is God. It's not God Guru, it's God. So you need the G, the God factor. We've looked at the book factor, the knowledge factor, the personal development factor, and we've now also looked at the individual factor. But the most important of it all is the God factor. You cannot stay in this world in a demilitarized zone. No, you'll be consumed by the weapon of mass destruction. Okay, you have to stay, you have to have an allegiance. You have to have an allegiance. One of my mentors said that you have to, either you're in the secret place or you're in the secret court. Okay, it's either you're serving God or you're serving Mammon. You cannot save in a demilitarized zone. So the God factor is very important. You see, the reason why the God factor is very, very important is this. There are things that controls the affairs of men that are beyond what we can see with our naked eye. So the God factor is very, very important. So you need to pay attention to the God factor. Okay, if you have not, I believe in Jesus. I've accepted Jesus as my Lord and personal Savior for years now. I'm a Christian and I'm proud to be one. However, this is not a call for you to give your life to Christ, but I will advise you to give your life to Christ. Okay, the God factor is very, very important. That is what I believe in. That has worked for me, is working for me, will continually work for me because it's trusted and tested. Okay, that's very, very important. Okay, this is where I'm going to be rounding up. This is a short video. I hope it made a whole lot of sense to you. And this is where I'm going to be rounding up today. Okay, so thank you very much. So subscribe, like, share, comment, and see you again tomorrow.